everyone. I want to say thank you guys for coming out and supporting our store, supporting this event. I want to say I am so happy to see all my customers, faces that I'm familiar with, faces that I'm not familiar with. Most of you know me. I'm Kiona. I've been with Nutrition Smart for almost 10 years. Love that we have a local health food store and trying to support local business. So tonight we have two really awesome leaders in our industry that will be talking to you guys. But before I introduce them, I want to go over some key things that we have giving away tonight. So the first thing is for any customer that purchased $50 or more tonight, including Ancient Nutrition products, will get this bag that I have right here, and it has a shaker cup in it, something to carry your protein and also to hold your supplements as well, a key ring and a pen. It's only for the first 200 people who make a purchase. And then tonight, if you spend $150 or more, you get this free essential oil book. And I gotta say, this is an amazing book, and we only have it while supplies last. So this is a book that's written by both Jordan and Axe, and it's a great book. I've read it myself. I would recommend it. We also have it in the store for sale as well. When you registered with an email on Eventbrite. Please make sure that's the correct email, because we will be sending you the keto e-course to that email. So if that's your active email that you check consistently and use it very regularly, please, if not, just come to us and we'll fix it for you, because I would love for everyone to see this course. It's amazing. Tonight, $5 off that you received, it's only for tonight only. So that $5 store coupon that you got or gift card, it's supposed to be used tonight with your purchase. You do have an Ancient Nutrition $5 off coupon of any purchase, and that's valid until the 27th of this month, I think. So you have those to use. Let me go ahead and talk a little bit about Jordan. I've known Jordan for as long as I've been working at Nutrition Smart. I believe in a lot of things that he has done with our industry. I love seeing him with his family shop the store. I mean, I've had that relationship with him for years. So let me just give you a little bullet points on him. He is a registered natural products industry leader, product formulator of the most #1 selling dietary product, supplements, functional foods and beverages in our industry. You guys will remember that he is the founder of Garden of Life. That part, because that's amazing. He's also an international lecturer, New York Times best-selling author, and he's appeared in over 300 TV and radio shows. So Jordan is somebody that is so influential in our industry, and he is a wealth of knowledge. It's somebody that I will continue to follow for as long as he's around here to do what he's doing for us. On to Axe. I've been following him before we brought the products into Nutrition Smart. When we were approached about it, it was a no-brainer because of both their beliefs and what they stand for in our industry. So Dr. Axe is a doctor of natural medicine, chiropractic physician, and clinical nutritionist. He operates one of the world's largest health website at draxe.com with over 14 million visitors per month. Expert in functional medicine, digestive health, and herbal remedies. Regular TV appearance as an expert on Dr. Oz, best-selling author of Eat Dirt, as well as co-author with Jordan Rubin for this essential oil ancient medicine book. In 2016, these two wonderful individuals joined forces, where they launched bone broth protein. That was the first item that was launched. After that, they went ahead and added more things to the line. as you've probably seen our stores, essential oil, fermented herbal supplements. They've added meal bone broth as well. Dr. Axe multi-collagen, a great collagen that they've added to our stores. So since the first launch, they've brought us all those great items, and they've made it organic, some natural at first, but we're so thankful that they've decided to do this to heal customers. So don't let me hold you any longer. Welcome, Jordan and Axe.
Now, before we get started, I have to pay a debt of gratitude to my colleague, Dr. Axe here, because I have done easily 1,000 or more of these events all by myself, 1 hour and 15 minutes without taking a breath, followed by untold numbers of photos, questions, and me being dragged out of here or carried out of here afterwards. Now, I'm just sort of the MC side dish, and I love it. So we're going to talk tonight about what Josh and I do for our own health and wellness and to benefit the lives of our families. There's a secret that we have to share. All of the products that we create are created for us. Selfish motives, perhaps. We share them with our family members. We believe in them, we use them, and then we're privileged to bring them to you. The books that we write, the articles, what we do with the draxe.com website, it is all about an expression of our own personal wellness journey and what we've seen happen over the last 20, even 30 years. So we're very excited to be here. We're going to share with you various concepts of nutrition, and then we're going to talk about some of the solutions that we offer from a product and content perspective. And so each area, I'm going to share a little bit. I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Axe. We're going to have a great time. And at the end, we're going to do a Q&A. So there's a microphone here, a stand. There will be a microphone. And if you have questions that you believe will benefit the entire audience or part of it, that would be great. Don't ask a question so specific that you have ankylosing spondylitis in your Yorkshire Terrier's left knee joint that would probably not be applicable to anyone else in this region. But if you can keep your questions to those that would make sense to a larger audience, that would be great. And because of this crowd size, we're not going to be able to answer individual questions or do a book signing. However, we have a great team. We have offers on our products tonight that you will never be able to experience again. And we hope that you will shower Nutrition Smart with your thanks, and that every food and supplement that we recommend will be lifted out of here because you believe in what we're doing and what Nutrition Smart has brought us here to do so greatly. So without further ado, thank you. We're going to get right into it. So, ancient nutrition for a modern world. How many of you know that today's health is not exactly what it should be? America is not, there you go, you're exactly right. America is not the glowing example of health that it should be. All the technology in the world, but not even ranking high in the first sort of world countries. There's a reason. We are missing some of the ancient secrets that our ancestors had. One of them is bone broth. And I'm going to quickly say this, that 2 years ago, I was here doing a seminar. Not in this tent, but in this store. I was 10-day road trip, 11 seminars. What people didn't realize was that a few weeks prior, I was suffering from a knee injury on crutches, couldn't walk. I turned to my old, tried and true nutritional friend, bone broth. But guess what? When you can't walk, slaving over a pot for 24 hours is difficult. I bought some frozen bone broth from the health food store, consumed 48 ounces a day, and was getting better. I was on my way to come to Florida for a seminar, told my mom to buy the frozen bone broth. My mom lived here at the time. It wasn't here. I semi-panicked, but then I realized I had just partnered with Dr. Axe, my good friend. I was working on a formulation that is now multi-collagen protein, and we found a great source of type 2 collagen. We found a great source of chondroitin, glucosamine, all these wonderful nutrients, and it was all in a form of a dry broth. I started mixing it in water while I was on the road, in hotels, when I was at home, and I felt as good or better than when drinking all that broth. I asked my team to analyze the product. It came back at over 90% protein, and immediately, big headline in my brain, bone broth protein. The first protein from bone broth that does everything that you need inside to transform your health outside. And since January of 2016, I have had 1 to 4 servings a day of bone broth every day. When I'm out of the country, in the country, when I'm in a hotel room, when I'm at guest homes, my family, my friends, I've been privileged to include this ancient powerhouse in my diet because bone broth takes care of the areas of our bodies that we most need to take care of, from the gut to the immune system, to the bones, joints, ligaments, tendons, and everything in between. And when I realized bone broth protein needed to get out to the public, I reached out to my good friend, Dr. Josh Axe, and said, hey, Josh, I got an idea for you. What do you think about introducing the very first protein that takes care of all the parts of your body that are not the muscles, but maybe that much more important? Let's do this together. Let's make it happen. And Josh said, that's your cue.
Let's do it. Yeah, so I was excited. One of the things Jordan said to me, actually, when he called me, he said, and I knew this about Jordan, Jordan before in his formulations, I mean, he's had 5 or 6 of the #1 selling products in health food stores, from greens powders to probiotics to protein. So when he told me on the phone, he said, I think this is going to be the greatest product we ever launch. I got really excited because I know how many great products he launched before. So again, that was where bone broth protein came from. The reason I got so excited as well is, Jordan mentioned this earlier, when we're formulating products, we're really thinking about our family members, ourselves. And for me, like the thousands of patients I've cared for, you guys know the story of my mom who overcame a really chronic illness. And this was something I had her on. This is something that I wanted to be taking every day. I want my wife to be taking. And so, bone broth, I had patients for years do things like bone broth cleanses or bone broth fasts to really experience a breakthrough in their health. And so when we were able to get this, but the problem was compliance, right? I mean, how many of you guys have ever made homemade bone broth before? I mean, a lot of people, a good majority of people in this tent here. And when you want to do something consistently, but it takes 48 hours, you have to, like for me, like we'd go to the farmer's market in Franklin, Tennessee and shop, and I'd try to find organic bones. It was almost impossible. I mean, really, it was work, right? It was a lot of work. So then, trying to get all my patients to do it for more than 2 weeks or a few months was really, really hard. So again, bone broth protein for me, I had somebody ask me this the other day, Dr. X, if you could only take one supplement, what would you take? And my answer is, it's actually not a multivitamin, it's not a greens powder, it's not a fish oil. For me, it really is bone broth. I think it is probably the biggest, it contains some of those nutrients that we don't get in our diet anymore. Our ancient ancestors consumed bone broth and organ meats like liver on a regular basis. Today, we're not consuming those things. Because of that, we're getting very, very little of these collagen-rich proteins. Now, this is something Jordan really turned me on to when it came to bone broth. But when you're consuming muscle meat, so whether we're talking about a chicken breast or an egg or a piece of fish or even a plant such as beans, grains, and mushrooms or nuts and seeds, all of those have very similar amino acid profiles, being very high in methionine-rich proteins, which are good for building muscle, right? When you're getting those proteins. Well, collagen, we know proline and glycine make up your skin, your hair, your nails, your bones, your discs in between your vertebra, your gut lining, tissue there, which makes up a big part of your immune system. And again, your ligaments, your tendons, your fascia that holds up your organs. I mean, all of those things are built out of collagen-rich proteins. So can you imagine, for a lot of us, we're consuming all of these proteins every single day that are building up our muscles, but not supporting our ligaments, our tendons, our immune system, all of these other areas of our body. And so that's why, but I'll tell you, like my own sister, I had her start taking our bone broth, protein and our collagen, multi-collagen, and she called me after 2 weeks, and she had always had issues with her hair. And she had a thyroid issue, so her hair was always very, very thin. And after 2 weeks, she called me almost in tears, and she said, I've never had something in just 2 weeks that has so radically transformed my hair. She said, I went to my stylist, and she said, what have you done? I've never seen your hair. She said, I feel like it's twice as thick as it was. And she just said, I started taking collagen. And then my sister we put her on a collagen loading program, doing 3 servings a day. And she always had brittle nails, like her nails would always chip, and she had issues with her nails. Has no issues with that anymore. In fact, for the first time ever, she was able to grow out her nails, and she sent me a picture of them the other day. So again, for us, like these products have just made such a major difference in the health of like my own mom, my wife, my sister, and Jordan, I know with his family. And again, with bone broth, I just want to touch on a few key nutrients here. We talked about the collagen, that's key. But did you know there's different types of collagen? There's type 1 collagen, type 2, type 3, type 5, and type 10. A good majority of your ligaments and tendons, your gut lining, which makes up your immune system, those areas are made up of type 2 collagen. I see a lot of people out there today buying collagen protein supplements, which listen, collagen protein's good, but just so you know, if you buy a straight collagen protein, you're getting type 1 and 3 collagen, which are good for your bones, skin, hair, and nails. But type 2 collagen is what makes up your, a lot of the tissues that support your immune system, your gut, and your ligaments and tendons. So you really need to make sure you're getting type 2 collagen, which is found in high levels in bone broth, but not in other collagen products. We actually put this as well in our multi-collagen to make sure that people are getting all of these various forms of collagen. But again, collagen is just so important for so many things and supporting so many areas of your body. And if you're not getting bone broth, whether it be a liquid bone broth that you make at home or you buy, or a bone broth powder every day, you really are missing out. Your body is missing out.
Absolutely. And I think it is really critical to understand that as our population, as we age, so one of us up here is over 40. I won't make you guess which one, 40 and wiser. But we start to understand that, we can't play full court basketball the way that we used to. My son, who's 13, claims that he crushes me every time we play, which is only partially true. But we just can't do what we used to do. And we are both sports fans, and we start looking at professional athletes today who are getting injured more frequently. More tendons and ligaments are torn. More back issues, more bone issues. And we're not seeing muscle tears increase. But joints, ligaments, tendons, and bones as we age are absolutely at an all-time low. How do you bring that back? You consume the very nutrients and beneficial compounds that make up our skeletal system. Whatever we're hanging this body on, our organs, our skin, it needs support. And I agree with Dr. Axe that without collagen in the form of bone broth, and if you can make it, DrAxe.com has amazing bone broth recipes, as do most of my books. There's great brands you can buy frozen, but we believe that having the convenience and the consistency of our bone broth protein, even available in capsules, and by the way, it tastes great if you haven't tried it. Here's the good news. I have an adage, under promise, over deliver. Here's an example. Our wonderful team in the back is serving bone broth protein smoothies. If you think that sounds disgusting, chicken, bone broth, and chocolate, you're going to have a real low expectation. And we're going to beat that expectation. Because I can tell you that the 8 members of my family love bone broth protein. They love it multiple times a day. And I am so blessed to be able to see my children as they grow benefit in areas of their body that normally we could not support. I have multiple adopted children, and when they would graduate from the homemade formula I would make, if we welcomed them into our home as infants, I made them bone broth and pureed vegetables every other day. If I had bone broth protein, I would have been one of the happiest dads on the planet. you have it, and if you've never jumped in and tried this amazing product, Nutrition Smart has made it so easy tonight. There's coupons on top of coupons on top of discounts. You want to take advantage of this opportunity. Both Josh and I love this product so much that I talked to Caitlin, our local representative here, and I said, hey, I'm out of chocolate bone broth protein. I counted all the servings when I came here to Florida. I don't live here anymore. I moved to Franklin to make sure that Josh was behaving himself and properly running the business. And I learned there were some things we need to correct there. So I'm here visiting, and I counted all my servings, but alas, I didn't have enough. So Caitlin's going to get me a bottle of chocolate bone broth protein unless you buy them all. So we're going to work on it.
In fact, Jordan called me before I came here, and he just kept hitting like 30 times. Like, make sure you bring your own supplements this time.
It's like Lego My Ego. You know, like Lego My Ego, the old commercial. And anyway, my jokes are becoming less relevant as the millennials start to populate our events more and more. Folks, bone broth protein comes in so many different varieties. Whether you're into fitness, there's a pre-workout, there's capsules if you don't have the 10 seconds to shake it up in water, almond milk, coconut milk, great in smoothies. And many of you I see have a book called Bone Broth Breakthrough that Dr. Axe wrote that has more than 50 recipes on how to sneak bone broth into all your great meals. Here's a tricky one. If some of you have children or grandchildren that don't like protein, how many of you have kids or grandkids that are carboholics? Raise your hand. I mean, all they want, oh man, you're all way ahead of me because my kids are carboholics. They love to eat carbs. So when we make them a grain, we will put or sneak bone broth protein, pure or turmeric, in the cooking water, and we can serve them quinoa or brown or black rice with 20 grams of protein per serving. And guess what they say? It only tastes better. Savory Sweet Bone Broth Protein has a product for you. How much should you take? I believe 1 to 3 servings a day. And as Josh alluded to, if you want to collagen load because you've been deficient all these years, start even higher. You will love it. There's minerals, there's hydration, and unlike certain proteins, when you take bone broth protein, you feel light and energetic, not bloated, it's not allergenic. If you're on paleo, if you're on keto, or if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can still sneak it. We won't tell. We've had many do that. But we believe in this product so much. In addition, and we'll skip right over, as Kiona mentioned, we now have organic bone broth protein with a combination of connective tissue building and muscle building proteins. And so this is absolutely amazing. We again have savory, such as savory herbs. Nitro beet might be one of my favorites because it's just such a cool name. I did come up with it, but it's still really cool. It's purple, I like that color. Turmeric spice is off the charts. Peanut butter is amazing. So we have original bone broth protein, organic bone broth protein. You can consume a different one every single day of the week.
It just has, go back to that slide real quick. In terms of, listen, all of these are, we have a lot of great tasting flavors here, but one of my faves is mixing the peanut butter and chocolate together in a smoothie. Yeah, me too. I'm with you. Yeah, the dark chocolate and the peanut butter together is really, really great. For my workouts, I love doing the nitro beet. There's a lot of great studies on beets and supporting your endurance. So love that there as well. But again, all of them are fantastic.
Cafe Mocha is pretty good too.
Cafe Mocha is good.
All right, so we talked a little bit about this, and we believe that collagen has been lost. And if you've checked in your local health food store, Health Magazine, it's being found in a hurry. Now let me tell you this, folks. First, I'll ask you a question. How many of you know that there are essential fatty acids that you should balance? Omega-3 and omega-6. How many of you read or heard that? Omega-3 and 6 are both essential. They're both good, but there needs to be a balance. The modern balance is off. The ancient balance is good, and we suffer as a result. How many of you know that we have bacteria in our gut, both good and not so good, and we need a balance? Raise your hand. You are so educated. Good job, Nutrition Smart. You need a balance, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that if you don't balance your proteins, you're going to struggle. I just sent Dr. Axe an article that showed what we've been teaching. The proteins that we're all running to consume in hundreds of grams. We're talking about protein from dairy, from meat, from eggs, from nuts, seeds, and legumes. And I consume an omnivorous diet, a conscious omnivorous diet. So I'm not bashing a certain type of protein. I love eggs, pasture-raised, love good dairy products, etc. But we get too much protein high in branched-chain amino acids and methionine. And I've read multiple articles this week that are showing that a lower protein diet and a diet lower in branched-chain amino acids actually helps metabolism. But the key is balance. In the old days, someone would hunt or raise an animal. They would cook the meat and bones in one pot. They would eat the bones, they would drink the broth. They would never consume the meat without the broth. They couldn't afford to throw the broth away. My grandmother, who grew up in Poland, the 8th of 8 children, they made one chicken soup a week, and she got the dregs, the broth, the fat on top, the grizzle. And guess what? At 81 years old, she was carrying heavy bags a mile to and from the grocery store. Well, just from, because she didn't go with groceries. That'd be really silly. She never drove. She walked a mile with these heavy bags, stood upright, was very healthy. She served us chicken. We ate the breast and thigh. She was in the kitchen eating the grizzle and embarrassed for us to see what she ate. We're missing amino acids that form collagen. And when you start consuming them, you'll get benefits. The way that Josh's sister did, your skin, your hair, your nails, your gut. It's time to focus on what our ancestors knew and stop consuming only white meat chicken, only tenderloin of beef. That's what the natives threw to the dogs. We need to consume the nutrients in their ancient form, and everybody in this room could benefit from a collagen makeover.
Yeah, as we talked about, again, collagen really is just so important for so many things. And again, Jordan, I love the point you made with this. Think about, do you know, like, if I think back 20 years ago, almost nobody knew what an omega-3 was. Versus today, everybody knows omega-3 fats support reducing inflammation in the body. We're going to see the same thing here in the future in a few years, and we're the first telling you now that you have to have a balance of the different types of amino acids in your body in order for your body to really function optimally. And so again, getting more of these collagen-rich proteins really is key for that.
Absolutely. And this is an exciting product line because this formulation actually introduced us to bone broth protein. But as drax.com began, which is now the #1 natural health website in the world, if you want to subscribe to our newsletter, visit drax.com. There's free ebooks. We do multiple videos a week on the Dr. Axe YouTube channel. We have an amazing Facebook page, Instagram, all that stuff. But you will get recipes, you will get remedies, and everything in between. But one thing that the Dr. Axe audience gravitated towards was collagen. And together, we didn't want to stop at just ordinary collagen, the ones you can find in the stores. We created the first multi-collagen protein. Why multi? Well, vitamin C is good, isn't it? B1's good. But most of us go for a multiple vitamin to get all of the nutrients. Collagen's no different. Dr. Axe mentioned there's type 1, 2, and 3. There's types 5 and 10. And we have them all in multi-collagen protein, and it tastes like whatever you put it in. You can put it in water. You can put it in your sports drink. We have it in powder, in a canister, single serves, and capsules, all with clinically studied ingredients to absolutely transform the areas of your body that you will call on most as you continue through life. And once again, I am so privileged that my children get to build their bones, joints, ligaments, and tendons as they grow. And unfortunately, my family, even being health conscious, never got me to consume enough collagen foods and supplements. And I believe I struggled as a result. So we're really excited about this. This is the #1 selling product, single product that we have today. Everyone who tries it loves it. And it's really just an absolute blessing to have. It is a great supplement to consume during the day, even when you get bone broth protein each and every day.
Yeah, and really, I have a lot of times people ask me, hey, what do you think I should take? Bone broth protein or collagen or keto, or in general, I'll tell you, I really think doing 1 scoop of multi-collagen with bone broth protein or 1 scoop of multi-collagen with keto protein is really the ideal thing in terms of getting as many sources of collagen as you can.
You know it, buddy. You were just like our biggest fan. There you go. Okay. All right, this is big. Essential oils, ancient wisdom for the entire family. How many of you love essential oils? Raise your hand. Now, this is something that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, nobody knew what we were talking about. The reason I say essential oils are ancient wisdom for the entire family is I couldn't imagine being without it. I can give you examples today of using essential oils breakfast, lunch, dinner, evening, noon, and morning, every day. Essential oils are the powerful fat-soluble fractions of plants. And if there was any category other than collagen that the Dr. Axe team was known for, it would be essential oils. It was mentioned that we just wrote a 500-page book called Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. We believe it's the definitive guide on how to use oils. And whether it's beverages and foods, whether it's skin and hair, we believe that oils topically, orally, and everything in between can absolutely transform your health. I went through a major health crisis in 2008. For 40 consecutive days, I had an essential oil massage. I diffused essential hours, multi-hour massage, diffused oils, consumed oils, and since 2008, for the last 10 years, I have been a believer. But it took us scouring the globe to find the oils we needed for our families to finally be able to offer you something truly incredible. And you've probably seen it. We call it Ancient Apothecary. It's relatively brand new. It is the first certified organic essential oil line that has all of them as dietary supplements that you consume internally. And Dr. Axe mentioned his #1 supplement is bone broth protein. I think he may tell you that a couple in the top 5 would fit within this slide. So tell us about essential oils and why they're so powerful and why people should have them in their herbal cabinet.
Yeah, essential oils are really amazing. I mean, if anyone here has ever, spent some time reading the Bible, essential oils are referenced more than 300 times in the Bible. They were referenced by Hippocrates. They were used in ancient Chinese nutrition. They were used in Ayurveda. Essential oils are really, really powerful form of plant-based therapy. And so essential oils, some things I love here. One is frankincense. Frankincense, we have a really unique formula where we source the 3 most potent and powerful forms of frankincense from across the world, from Oman, from Somaliland, from India, and put them together in one formula. Frankincense is really known for supporting your body, your immunity. A lot of times I'll diffuse it when I'm spending time just praying in the morning. So love that essential oil. Lemon oil is known to be very, very cleansing to the body. So that's an oil I use. My wife and I use essential oils for almost everything. One of the big ways we've used them is to get the toxins out of our home. A lot of people today are still using chemical sprays on their counters and stainless steel appliances and in their bathrooms. So for Chelsea and I, we actually probably have saved money because we stopped buying all these other products and started making homemade products. So like the cleaning supply that we spray our kitchen down with, it's just a mixture of like tea tree oil and lemon oil. And vinegar, actually, we use that's what we use in our showers, tea tree oil and eucalyptus in there. So again, we use essential oils for a lot of these things. There's some great clinical studies on how ginger and peppermint may support the digestive system. So we have a blend called Digestion where we mix ginger oil, peppermint oil, fennel oil to naturally support the digestive tract. So essential oils are used for a lot of things. Clary sage may naturally support your hormones. This is something that my wife Chelsea, she uses clary sage on a regular basis there as well. And then we also have some essential oils. Again, ginger we love for its benefits. Turmeric, we have one of the first ever turmeric essential oils. And a lot of people have heard of the compound curcumin, which is found in turmeric. Well, this is probably the most concentrated form of turmeric you will ever find. But this oil specifically also has higher levels of a compound called turmerone, which has been connected to stem cells. And if you've read anything online about the benefits of your body's own stem cells and how they work, it really is amazing. So I really believe that the form of turmeric we have in our oils and our capsules, it's the most potent and powerful form of turmeric you'll ever find. You know, one of the things that I know Jordan and I have heard over and over and over again, whether it's with our bone broth product or now our essential oils in the capsules, is sometimes people will say to me, you know, I've taken supplements before, but I didn't really notice a difference. And I've had so many people that have come up to us saying, you know what, I took your product and after just a few weeks or a few days, I already started telling a difference in our body. And that's because, I'll tell you, one of the greatest things, one of the things I love about Jordan is he's such a researcher. I mean, Jordan, when we formulate and create these products, Jordan goes and looks at the clinical studies and really using the clinical dosage. You know, a lot of companies out there aren't even putting the clinical dosage from the studies in the products. They're putting it in a diluted amount, versus with Jordan and I, we're putting in the clinical dosage or more in every single product. A few other oils I want to highlight: holy basil essential oil. Now, holy basil in ancient Ayurveda was also called tulsi, and it was known as an adaptogen, helping your body better adapt and deal with stressors. So this is an oil I love to diffuse. I mean, so Chelsea and I, you know, in our kitchen, again, we're using tea tree oil and lemon oil, or either a mixture of sometimes clove and orange, which smells great for a lot of things. You know, we use holy basil. We just diffuse that around the house all the time. Before we go to bed at night, we do lavender oil and ylang ylang. That blend is great for naturally relaxing the body. You know, I have my patients do a bath at night where they do 1 cup of Epsom salts, 20 drops of essential oil, really helping relax the body. So again, essential oils are really, really powerful, whether you use them internally or topically or diffusing them or using them to replace your personal care products.
Absolutely, and I want to comment on the holy basil oil. We had to contract for an entire organic field of holy basil to introduce the very first holy basil oil, and it being organic is truly amazing. I want to give you a little hack that I use every morning. I went most of my life without drinking coffee, and Josh and I are working on a coffee project, let's just say, and so I decided to start consuming coffee, and I realized, hey, this isn't a coffee maker, this is an herbal extraction machine. And I got really excited. There's French press, there's drip, there's pour over. I messed around quite a bit with formulations. Here's what I landed on. Now, if you like coffee that could be considered or called mud, and you don't care all that much about the taste, I'm going to give you a little tip. Then I'll give you a tasty one after that for those of you who do care. So here's my morning coffee. So I have French press organic coffee, and I add a little bit of ghee and coconut oil and one of our products, Keto Collagen, but then I go to town on essential oils. Here's my regimen. So I'll add 20 drops of turmeric oil. Now, I'm hardcore. You can add 2 drops. I go for it. If some's good, a lot's better. That's my motto. Years ago, my theme song had to be Billy Joel's I Go to Extremes. That's just me. I use 5 drops of ginger. Why only 5? Because our ginger is so powerful. 1 drop tastes like more ginger than an ounce of juice. It rocks. So I add 5 drops of ginger, 2 drops of cinnamon oil, which tastes like sugar, so amazing, 2 drops of black pepper oil, and 2 drops of holy basil oil, and it's just awesome. It's warming in nature, combines with the antioxidants in the coffee. It is fabulous. You will just absolutely feel great for hours. In addition, if you want to know something that tastes really good, I make coffee for my wife every morning. I add 1 scoop of chocolate bone broth protein, no sweetener other than that, and 1 scoop of Keto Collagen to her coffee, and it tastes like a cafe mocha. She doesn't get all the oils like me. I'm the only one in our family that can handle that, but I would not be without it. In fact, I want to consume even more oils than I do. I just sort of run out of alimentary space, as they say. I'm so excited about these products. In fact, I would wager to say that our turmeric, ginger, and holy basil oils, I think they're top 10 of all products that are available. And keep in mind, folks, we didn't create turmeric or turmeric oil or holy basil or ginger. We just found great sources
and we're able to give you affordable, effective servings so that you can consume it. 260 servings in one bottle of ancient apothecary turmeric would give you the amount of over 100 capsules of turmeric that you buy from another brand. So take advantage of this, and as you heard earlier, everyone who spends $150 gets while supplies last, gets our Essential Oil Ancient Medicine book, which is a $50 book, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about oil. So I'm really excited about these oils. Everywhere we have shared this message, the ones we mentioned sell out. So you got to go grab them. We saw a great display in the
Yeah, well, one thing I want to mention too, we're talking about a lot of different foods and supplements and essential oils tonight. If you're taking notes tonight, make sure that you, because I feel sometimes come up to me at the end saying, can you remind me of that one? Hey, I wouldn't make a list. Write down a list for use. I really believe everybody's different in this audience. Everybody has different nutritional needs. But make sure you just make a list tonight or circle the different things that you know you personally need, or be thinking about a friend, a loved one, maybe a family member who could use one of these products as well. If you're thinking about stress, lavenders, we're talking about, supporting your entire body, turmeric and ginger, as we continue to go on tonight.
Absolutely. All right, the power of herbs and spices. Now, I mentioned I am an omnivorous eater, but I will tell you this. No one can deny that plant-based nutrition is powerful. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of my favorite plants and how I believe they rank in the plant kingdom. Fruits are good. Small, tart, very colorful or better. I found some gooseberries in the store the other day and some red currants. They were awesome. Very tart. Those are the kind of fruits that are amazing. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. Fruits are good. Veggies are great. They have minerals and they're loaded with compounds like sulforaphane, indole 3-carbinol, all kinds of goodies. Vegetables are great. Herbs are awesome, and I'm talking about herbs, the flowery part of plants. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme for all of you Simon and Garfunkel fans. They really are amazing. In fact, thyme heals all wounds.
Well, one day you may not have used that joke.
Yeah, you know what? During Thanksgiving, I was making the stuffing, and I spilled some of the spices, and I realized I had too much thyme on my hands. Come on, that's a great one. It kills. Anyway, herbs are awesome. They are very concentrated and potent. The other day, just for kicks, someone served a dish and there was a rosemary sprig, and I tried to eat it. It was a little woody, but that just lit my mouth up. These are powerful. Spices are the bomb. I mean that figuratively and literally. Spices are the most amazing, let's say, personalities of the plant kingdom. We talked about turmeric, ginger. There are other spices like pepper. Pepper's amazing. Cayenne, black, white. There are so many spices. Clove, allspice, nutmeg. So we believe that if you're sitting here today and want to know how to transform your health, you've heard about antioxidants, you've heard about anti-aging, you've heard about supporting healthy inflammation. I'm telling you folks, everyone in the world but Americans know that spices are absolutely amazing. Herbs are second best. You gotta get them, and they're like super plants, and we want you to consume more of them in fresh or dried form.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I was thinking about this the other day. I'd read a book years ago called The Okinawan Diet, and they talked about the antioxidant intake of those in Okinawa who have more centurions than anywhere else in the world. People living to be over 100, and they compared those men and women to men and women in the U.S. And they found that the Okinawans' diet in general, they consumed 8 times the amount of antioxidants in their diet. And one of the things I was thinking about this with too, I think per capita, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think per capita the U.S. probably consumes just about the lowest intake of herbs and spices in the world. When you walk into if you go into a home in Asia or the Middle East or a grocery store, it actually smells like herbs and it smells like food. It smells like something. When you go into a conventional grocery store in the U.S., it smells like nothing. Or maybe bleach, right? It literally smells almost like nothing. But again, for us, this is the most powerful form of therapy we could ever have, is getting more herbs and spices every single day. So we encourage you, take them as supplements, but also go crazy with them on your food. We have guests over fairly often, and I make different dishes, and I'm not trying to brag on my cooking skills, but a lot of times people ask, man, why does this taste so good? And it's typically just because I use more herbs. I mean, really, that's it. If it says a teaspoon of basil, I put in 3 teaspoons. You typically do more. And I think that, again, one, it's great for flavor, but two, again, as Jordan's talking about, if you're going to up anything in your diet after tonight, it really needs to be getting more herbs in your diet on a regular basis, I think is absolutely crucial. And so we're going to get into some of the herbs and spices here too.
Absolutely. So look, we want you to consume fresh or dried herbs, but because you won't do it every single day, we created the first fermented herbal and spice supplement line made with completely organic ingredients, utilizing principles of traditional Chinese herbalism, Ayurveda, and adaptogenic botanicals from all over the world to create our first 6 ancient apothecary herbals. We love them, we use them, and each and every one of them can pack a powerful punch to supplement your newfound love of herbs and spices.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, one of the things, again, getting herbs and spices in their natural form is fantastic. You want to do that. But I want to mention something that's so unique about, as Jordan's talking about, traditional Chinese herbalism and Ayurveda. When we look at our current medical system today, our medical model, a lot of the things that it's based off of is very superficial or hasn't been around that long. A lot of the principles might be 100 years old or less. Traditional Chinese herbalism has been around more than 3,000 years, and so has Ayurveda. Some people believe closer to 5,000 years. So these principles have been around for a really long time, and they've been proven throughout history. How many of you guys have heard of the recipe for turmeric golden milk or turmeric golden tea? A lot of us, right? Did you know that just wasn't something that in Ayurveda they said, well, we think this is going to taste good. No, they said, you know what, that was created by a group of physicians over time that said, we know when we combine certain ingredients and nutrients together, it's going to be more therapeutic for the body, right? So in traditional, if we're talking about golden milk, it's a combination of turmeric, a warming spice or herb like long pepper, ginger, clove, black pepper, some sort of warming herb, along with a source of healthy fat like ghee or coconut. That's part of that formula. And so one of the things that Jordan and I did, and this is one of the reasons why Jordan is such a brilliant formulator, we went back and looked at some of these ancient principles of Ayurveda, traditional Chinese herbalism, and even some ancient Greek therapy used by Hippocrates. In fact, let me just jump off track here and just say this too. Do you know why? How many of you guys have been to an Italian restaurant and had bread and olive oil and maybe some herbs before your meal, right? Do you know originally that was done? That was actually recommended by Greek physicians to prepare the digestive system to digest fat and break down food. So traditionally it was pure olive oil. If you've ever had real olive oil, it's actually a little bit bitter and super herbaceous. And then typically it was loads and loads of herbs. And when you consume foods that are bitter, or if you ever just eat straight herbs, they are bitter. That causes your liver and gallbladder to release and produce bile to help you break down and digest fats and improve your digestion. So that's why I said, now today it's like white bread and it's like not even real olive oil and hardly any herbs, but traditionally that's why it was done. One of the things that Jordan and I were able to do in these formulas is not only, when people go out and buy turmeric today, a lot of times it's just turmeric. Well, Jordan, again, formulating for ourselves and our families, Jordan's thinking about his wife, Nikki, his 6 kids at home. I'm thinking about my mom and my wife and thinking, what is going to be the most therapeutic thing for them? Well, it's going to be following these ancient principles. So in our turmeric, for instance, not only is it turmeric, it's the highest quality turmeric in the world. Along with that, it's fermented. You know when you ferment something, so turning like cabbage into sauerkraut, it creates new compounds that weren't even there before. Some of the nutrients might be more bioavailable. So you have their turmeric that's fermented. Along with that, we added warming spices like ginger and clove and black pepper. This is what warming spices do. Warming spices open up things like your capillaries. Did you know there are clinical studies showing if you consume turmeric by itself, you absorb very, very little of it in your bloodstream? But if you consume it with a warming spice like black pepper or piperine, that actually helps open up your capillaries, allowing all of the nutrients in turmeric to get into your bloodstream. So again, with this turmeric here, we added in a whole blend of warming herbal spices. We also added in bitter herbs like milk thistle and dandelion. And then, to top it off, once we added in all those things together, we soaked all of that in turmeric essential oil to make it highly concentrated and potent. And this is really why when people take our products and use this line for the first time, so many people are saying, I took other things before, I didn't notice the difference. I started taking this and I started being able to tell a difference in our body. So again, turmeric, one of my favorites there for joints, and all of us know, right? I mean, turmeric in general, one of the healthiest herbs on the planet. Jordan, I'll let you hit on some more here too.
Absolutely. Fermented elderberry is great for this time of year, but really powerful for immune support any time of year. Cinnamon, great for blood sugar and microbial balance. All of these are fermented, multiple sources, infused with essential oils, made with organic ingredients. Oregano is great for balancing microbes and keeping the germs that are less friendly at bay. Ashwagandha is good for stress, good for energy, reducing fatigue, good for your brain. It is one of the most important plants on the planet. And holy basil is amazing for overall health and resistance to life's challenges. These are great formulas taken individually, separately, and they help you round out a diet that should contain more herbs and spices. This is not going to substitute for you adding more herbs and spices to your diet. One thing I do every day, I take one of those tea kettles thingies that you can press after you soak in hot water. I'm making this a lot more complicated than it is. Bottom line, take some raw herbs or dried herbs and spices and pour hot water over it. I drink it every single morning. These supplements are amazing if you want to use herbs, but you gotta eat and drink herbal compounds every day. We're missing them, they will make us much healthier.
Yeah, let me just say this too, just if you're wondering, turmeric, I think it's just beneficial for everybody. So if you're wondering which one of these should I take, again, I think turmeric is really high on that list. Elderberry, as Jordan mentioned, immune system. Cinnamon, great for metabolism, may support healthy blood sugar levels. It's great for that. Oregano, microbial balance. I do want to mention ashwagandha. I have a lot of people, I was so surprised when I first opened my clinic, the number of people that were looking to naturally support their thyroid. So if you yourself know that thyroid is the thing you need the most help with, I really believe, based on all the clinical studies, this form of ashwagandha is so powerful for the thyroid. And if you're looking in general for hormones, holy basil. So, or if you want really the best two for hormones, holy basil and ashwagandha together.
Folks, I don't know if you remember 5th grade science and we learned about the biological kingdoms. But then again, I think we forgot, because I grew up thinking that mushrooms were a plant, a vegetable, but they're not. The fungal kingdom, which has gotten a bad rap in this industry due to candida, overgrowth, etc. But at the end of the day, the most powerful, the most studied kingdom of compounds on the planet are mushrooms. And I'm not just talking about button mushrooms. I think I'm just going on my own here, maybe. I'm not talking about simply button mushrooms. Let me see if this makes a difference. Hello. Hello. We'll trade. We'll toss. I'm not talking about button mushrooms, oyster mushrooms. I'm talking about mushrooms known as tonic or medicinal mushrooms. They've been used for thousands of years and were considered a part of the traditional Chinese pharmacopoeia. We absolutely need these. Every nation in the world has a mushroom that they practically worship. I'm not suggesting you do it. But these fabulous fungi, whether it's reishi in China, turkey tail right here in the US, chaga in Russia, whether it's shiitake in Japan, they're amazing. Each and every day, we can benefit our body's defenses, our body's endurance from mushrooms. Some of them, like cordyceps, were reserved for emperors and were so potent that it was illegal to consume them if you found them unless you were royalty. You can make mushrooms in soups. You can make stews. You can make infusions like teas. There's probably dried mushrooms available here, and there's powders. we developed an amazing mushroom line, ancient apothecary, fermented mushrooms, so you could get them every day easily. We grow these mushrooms in our own facility using a patented process, and the same herbal benefits, warming, cooling, and adaptogenic, are here for you. So Dr. Axe, tell us about some of these magical mushrooms. Not magical that way, but you know.
Is this working?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we have one here is chaga, and this is really great for antioxidant protection. So if you're if you want to sort of work on protecting your body that way, chaga is great. Now, lion's mane is really one of the most unique mushrooms in the world. In fact, it's known to support something called nervine growth factor in the body. Now, you can go home and look that up, but basically that means it really supports the brain and the nervous system. Okay, so if somebody's looking for supporting the brain and the nervous system, lion's mane mushroom is one of the most powerful things in the entire world. In fact, when I have patients or work with people now who are looking in any way to support the brain, one of the things I do is I put them on a ketogenic diet, and then I have them start supplementing with lion's mane mushroom with that, and the results are phenomenal. Cordyceps, I in past years have done triathlons and CrossFit and a lot of different types of exercise. And for me, when I'm looking to get an edge, cordyceps is one of the biggest things I go to. Cordyceps was used by the Russian Olympic team, the China Olympic team. So again, cordyceps in general are very powerful for naturally supporting your body's endurance there as well. So again, love cordyceps for that reason. Just natural energizer. You really want to support natural levels of energy. And then fermented reishi. Reishi was prized in traditional Chinese herbalism. And this is something I'll just tell you, when my own mom was sick and ill years ago, this is what she had her take. This is one of the things I have my mom taking regularly just for longevity and immune support. So I have my mom taking that right now, the fermented reishi, and then turkey tail for immune system. I love combining the turkey tail with the elderberry, really, really powerful immune combo.
Now what's great is if you're saying, I am already out of paper from taking notes, my smartphone is already sputtering, we have a multi-mushroom, which is one product, all the mushrooms, to make it a little bit easier. And I know you're going to ask questions, what should I take first, second, third? That's a great multi-mushroom, just like multi-collagen. Bottom line, folks, we have spent years developing this powerful technology. Even the substrate we grow our mushrooms on is sprouted, fermented, and while our mushrooms are growing, we play special music and have special colors in the room. I'm serious. But think about it. Mushrooms that grow outdoors get to hear all the wonderful orchestra of nature, see all the colors, so we want them to feel at home.
I did want to say this too. It really is so amazing when you look at, and this is something that was known in traditional Chinese herbalism. And for me, I think it's amazing how God set this up. But when you look at a picture of a reishi mushroom, it looks identical to a kidney, just so you know. You guys have heard that, right? Cauliflower looks like your lungs, and carrots, you kind of look like your eyes. But in traditional Chinese herbalism, reishi was the ultimate, known as chi booster, okay? Chi and actually cordyceps as well. But again, your adrenals sit right on top of your kidneys, and that area is known as where energy flows from your body. So again, reishi was used for that way for a long time. Lion's mane mushroom kind of looks like it's like a round ball with like little tentacles. But in the traditional Chinese herbalism too, they said that it actually supported your gut-brain connection between the two.
Absolutely. All right, so we alluded to this, and we're going to talk a little bit about this now. You may have heard of the ketogenic diet. You might have heard it shortened to keto. This is definitely an 80, 90-year-old discovery that dates back even further. And so before we get into everything to do with keto, let me say this, that the ketogenic diet was created to replicate the results of fasting. Now, years ago, water fasting was used in studies to reverse many conditions that children and adults were dealing with. However, water fasting is unsustainable. You can't simply consume water for more than 40 days. And when you do, you deal with something called autophagy, which is the digestion of your own body. That's why people that fast look so sickly. A doctor developed something that allowed the body to get the results of fasting without starvation. And he found that by modulating the macronutrients, he could convert the body to a fat-burning furnace and allow the long-term results for the brain, for energy, for metabolism, and much, much more. Now, we've been studying aspects of the ketogenic diet separately and collectively for years, and we decided to create an entire program we call Keto 360. You each should have received our brand new book. It's so brand new that I asked my associate Andy to grab one because I haven't even seen the book. I know the program. But this is the first truly functional, organic, dietary program that can transform the health of your brain, your energy levels, and your metabolism. And I believe 98% of the people in this audience can benefit from following this simple 30-day program in ways that you've never imagined. I also heard it mentioned that each of you who signed up for this seminar, your email address, you will receive the Keto 360 digital program, a $99 value. We are so excited because keto typically resulted in people calculating their calories, working on macronutrients, weighing things, but Keto 360 is simple, it's effective, it's being used in 3 clinics exclusively to help people with metabolism. And folks, now that I'm doing this, it is really the best diet I've ever been on. It's really a lifestyle. What's great is there is a lot of freedom, and if you decide to veer off, you can always get back. We just launched it last week, the last 2 weeks at drax.com, and it is becoming an international sensation. So we're excited that just for coming, you get our Keto 360 book, written by Dr. Axe, myself, and our good friend Dr. Jason Olafson, and you get the e-program, $99 value, all free, and we're excited that you can have an opportunity for 2018 to make it your healthiest year ever. This is not just about weight loss, although you'll lose if you need to. It's about overall performance. My 13-year-old son is on the program. My 14-year-old daughter is on the program because they want more out of life. And we simply in America consume too much sugar, too many carbs. One great thing about Keto 360, it kills your cravings and makes eating doable.
Yeah, I'll say, even when I was in practice, very early on, I started taking care of a lot of children that were having brain and developmental issues. And when I put them on a diet, first I got them off gluten, got them off casein. When I would put them on a keto diet, it was amazing the results that we started seeing in our body. I think for anybody, especially if you want to support the brain and nervous system, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to support your metabolism, if you want to support your hormones, or even people that have some of these microbial issues and overgrowth in their body, like yeast, I really think that a ketogenic diet is one of the ideal diets to consider following.
Let's take off.
All right. So anyways here, so we put together a program, but here's the thing, I want to mention a few things about keto. There's the right way to do keto, and there's the wrong way. How many of you know somebody that's done, and listen, we can use more than just keto. Keto or paleo or vegan, well, probably at least keto and paleo in regards to this, where they're like, oh, I'm on a diet, but like the only thing they're eating is butter and bacon. Like some people are just because, they're like, oh, well, I know I can eat these 2 things, so I'm eating this every meal. Or I love it when I talk to a vegan, and I'm like, well, what do you eat? It's like Cheetos, or a vegetarian, like it's like Cheetos. I remember that was my first experience with really starting to work with vegans. I'm like, this is bad. So anyways, that being said, Jordan and I put together a program that's not only keto, but it's keto done the right way, the best way. Again, the way that we would want our family members to do. My wife did the ketogenic diet. She followed this program for 30 days, And then she started doing something, our maintenance program, which is what we call keto cycling. So we really believe our ancestors, sometimes they were in ketosis, sometimes they weren't. And there's a healthy balance of you being able to burn both fat and carbohydrates for energy. And so again, my wife has seen phenomenal results. In fact, she said her hormones feel perfect. She told me just this week too, I don't want to get into all these details, but she said on her monthly cycle, she said she doesn't even notice it hardly. I mean, really her hormones are so balanced. Now, my wife did not need to lose any weight, but she lost 12 pounds, really leaned out, and she's the healthiest and leanest she's ever been. If you want to follow her on Instagram, it's Dr. Chelsea Axe, so just Dr. Chelsea Axe, you can check her out, check out her progress. But again, this is something that we believed in so much that again, my own wife still follows the program today, 9 months later after we all developed it together. So again, this really is a powerful program. But when you do keto, a few things I want to mention. One, you want to prepare your body. I've seen people that have said, okay, I'm going to be on a really high carb diet and then jump into keto. Sometimes it's good to have a 3-day period or a 7-day period where you're starting to add some healthy fats and you're sort of preparing yourself. All that being said, we lay out everything from the supplements, the meal plan, the shopping list. And when we've had people go through this 30-day program, it's been really, really powerful.
Absolutely. Here's one thing that shocked us. In the clinic that is using the Keto 360 program, we saw weight loss in women almost identical to men. And that's never happened in my experience. Sadly, for women, I'll report these programs where the men lose twice as much. You know what I'm talking about. They basically disappear, and you're the one making the food, you're sticking to it, they're sort of cheating, and they lose the weight. We've seen great results with women. Plenty of people that don't need to lose weight. My 13-year-old son wants to gain strength and weight, but he's able to do it and outperform his peers because he is living this lifestyle. There is plenty of amazing foods you can consume, and we created the very first comprehensive product line. We'll give you some tidbits in just a moment in the history of supplements to help you with keto. One of them is Keto Fire. Now, if you're here and you're saying, you know what, I'm not going to change my diet, but I would like to maybe lose some pounds or boost my energy, Keto Fire gives you, in a capsule, the 5 secrets to unlock the magic of ketosis. One of them is actual ketones themselves, called BHB salts. We combine them with powerful herbs. We combine them with enzymes and adaptogenic fermented botanicals that you will love. These are in capsules. There's one with coffee cherry caffeine from an organic source and one that's caffeine-free. This product absolutely rocks. You will love it. And here's probably the most amazing protein ever to be in a bottle since bone broth protein. Keto protein not only tastes delicious, rich, and creamy, it contains my new favorite ingredient for the first time, what we call bone broth oil. When you make bone broth, there's that golden layer of fat. We harnessed it because the fat in bone broth, according to thousands of years of history, is almost identical to the fat and the composition of our body, particularly our skin. You've never heard of it before because it's never been used in this form, but that's what helps keto protein become the only protein powder with the right amount of fat. You never find protein in nature that's fat-free. It doesn't exist. Not from meat, not from beans, not from nuts and seeds. We're putting it back, and man, talk about delicious. There's 6 amazing flavors. Maple is caffeine-free. Turmeric spice is just like the ultimate curry you'll ever have, but they're all delicious and they're amazing.
I mean, I love all of these. The coffee is awesome, the chocolate's awesome, the vanilla. But I just want to give a shout out to the maple flavor because I had a buddy who's done this. He's lost so much weight already, a friend from high school. And he's only been following for a little bit, but he texted me the other day. He made keto pancakes with coconut flour, almond flour, eggs, and the keto maple, and just were amazing. So again, and by the way, I'm not currently, like today, I'm not on a keto diet. As we'll see, I've had plenty of carbohydrates today. But that being said, I still do the keto maple supplement. I did it this morning before I flew here. So again, these can be done whether you're on the keto diet or not on the keto diet.
Great point. If you're someone who follows a paleo diet, an omnivorous diet, if you are not on a diet, which is great, Keto products can help you find your keto moment. And this is a great one. If you need a meal that is perfectly keto balanced, Keto Feast. There's maple that's caffeine-free, vanilla, chocolate. These give you not only powerful fats, healthy proteins, small amount of carbs, good sources of fiber from chia. We've got tiger nut, which is a cool superfood, fermented vitamins, minerals, etc., etc. So our keto line is brand new, and Nutrition Smart is one of less than a few hundred stores in America that have it. Very exciting. And we even have some ancillary products, Keto Broth, which is a broth that contains healthy fats, Keto Collagen, which I love, Keto Fiber, Keto Multi, Keto pH, which is an alkalizing formula for anyone who wants alkalizing minerals but not a lot of carbs, Keto Biome, the first keto-adapted probiotic, I use it, and Keto Digest, a digestive enzyme to help particularly with fat and protein. And as we mentioned, the Keto 360 program, all of you have it in printed form and digitally through your email. It is amazing whether you use the supplements or not. We do recommend the supplements, but that's our gift to you. We're really excited about it.
Great. Well, that's our last slide, right?
That's our last slide.
Right.
So here's the thing, folks. I know you might have some questions. Dr. Axe and I do have another engagement shortly, but we want to answer your questions. There is a mic here that I believe works, and if you wanted to sort of squeeze around and line up, we'll take a few questions. Here's what I want to say as you're walking up. All of you who came have a $5 gift card. That was your admission, but then you get to use it. There's a one-night-only coupon. There's an Ancient Nutrition coupon, and there's one-night-only discounts. Our online pricing for our products, whether it's Ancient Apothecary, Ancient Nutrition, Keto, they're very tight. This will be the best price you will get. You get a gift at $50, one at $150. So get in there and buy that turmeric oil before it's gone, because it will be gone. But if you want to stay and listen to the Q&A, absolutely do it. If not, thank you for coming. Support Nutrition Smart. Buy all the great foods, supplements, and skincare. Thank you.
Yeah, I do want to say this too. I was talking to somebody from Nutrition Smart, and they said that this probably is the biggest sale they will have all year on these products. So again, make sure you stock up and load up on the products here tonight. And check out our Essential Oils Ancient Medicine book. We really think that book is amazing. I think they should have copies in there. I think you can check it as well. So let's go and start the Q&A. Yes, sir.
Anyway, my question is, can you eat sweet potatoes on a keto diet?
Great question. Sweet potatoes are pretty high in carbs. So typically, for example, one sweet potato might have 25 grams. So while it is considered paleo-friendly, it is about as high in carbs as a piece of bread. So on a keto diet, typically no, but on Keto 360, we have several points of flexibility that would allow you to do it. And if you do it, no matter what diet you're on, put some good old-fashioned butter on there to make it less damaging on a carb sense.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, the microphone is...
Yes, ma'am.
Mine's kind of a two-parter regarding adrenal fatigue. Would you recommend for that not to use any of the products that contain caffeine? Is that really true? Stay away from anything coffee-related or caffeine?
Great question. All of our products that contain caffeine, it's all natural. Either it's from coffee or organic coffee cherry, the outside of the coffee, and it's all balanced with adrenal supporting substances and antioxidants. So you may be better off starting with the caffeine-free products, but there's nothing better for adrenals than a good fat diet combined with adaptogens. And so almost any of our herbals and every one of our keto products balances those adaptogens.
And with also adrenal fatigue, I know lots of times with serious health concerns, they recommend doing cleanses with lots of like juicing and.
I don't recommend that with adrenal issues
That's what I
typically.
wanted to confirm. That's too harsh on your system, right?
Yeah, with adrenal issues, again, here's the thing. I think a lot of times people want to do something drastic. I think with adrenal, you want to consider a slow build. You want to slowly build up your body. I think a keto diet is great. And as Jordan mentioned, doing lots of those adaptogens, I think that's really important. Then, of course, getting good sleep, keeping stress levels low. I mean, all of those things I think will help.
Okay, thank you.